Hello everyone, welcome to PJ Chemistry channel. Today we are going to discuss the second state of matter, liquid state. Liquid state. I hope previous video uh, everyone you understood about solid state. The same points as it is I am mentioning by changing to the liquid state. If we go through like that, very easy to remember to the students. That is what I am making same points to through conversion to the liquid state. Solid state, first we discussed about rigidity. So point here also I am going to mention. Before going to that, solid state, once I will give briefing. Solid state, they having fixed shape and fixed volume. The rigidity of solids, particles are very tightly packed. So they are very rigid, and interparticle space negligible, and the density of solids are more compared to others. Next, diffusion diffusion of the solids, very less, no diffusion or very less diffusion. This all we covered previous video. So that continuation, liquid state, today we are going to discuss liquids. Generally liquids not having fixed shape. Generally liquids not having fixed shape. Not having fixed shape. The shape of liquids depends upon container. Not having fixed shape. But having fixed volume. Fixed volume. The shape of liquids depends upon container. If you take water in a beaker shape will come. If you take in pot, pot shape will come. If you take in bottle, bottle shape will come. So there is no fixed shape, but the volume is fixed. You take in 1 liter only in all the containers. Like that, generally liquids not having fixed shape but having fixed volume. Fixed is nothing but definite shape, like that, definite. Not having definite shape but having definite volume also, you can say. Next, rigidity. Rigidity is nothing but tightly packing. Solids means particles, between the particles more force of attraction, so they tightly packed. But here liquids not having tightly packing nature. Between the particles less attraction is present. Rigidity is less compared to solids. Compared to solids. Here maximum all points I am comparing with the solids. Compared to solids, rigidity is less. Means compared to gases, more. Like that you can convert. So rigidity is less compared to solids. Because the attraction between the particles are less compared to solids. The attraction between the particles are less. Attraction or you can read force of attraction also. The attraction between the particles are less or weak compared to solids. Next, interparticle space or interstitial space. Interparticle space. Interparticle space. Already we know if attraction is more, interparticle space is less. If attraction is less, interparticle space is more. So above point we discussed rigidity is less compared to solids. So why? Due to attraction between the particles are weak or less. That means interparticle space increased. Between the particles gap increased compared to solids. So interparticle space is more between the particles compared to solids. So compared to solids more, compared to gases less. Okay. Next we will discuss about gaseous state there. Next, compressibility. Compressibility. Compressibility is solids. Compressibility of solids are very less or negligible, but because their particles already tightly packed. So even though you apply pressure on that, there is no change. But liquids having space between the particles. So when we make it cool, the particles will a little bit closer. Means there is a compressibility. So compressibility of liquids are more compared to solids. So compared to solids more, but compared to gases less. Next, diffusing. Yes, yesterday previous video also we discussed about diffusion. Diffusion means spontaneous mixing into air and move along with air from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is we call diffusion. Spontaneous. Yeah, not only in air. Spontaneous mixing with other substance. Spontaneous mixing into other and move along with that from higher concentration to lower concentration. Higher concentration to lower concentration. For example, if you take two beakers with a certain amount of water, now in this first beaker I am adding honey. In this first beaker, honey we are adding. In this second beaker, ink I am adding. Just added a certain amount of honey in first beaker, certain amount of ink in the second beaker. Without disturb, I placed some time. After some time, what we observe is the ink almost completely diffused in this water. Honey will take a long time to diffuse because only the reason ink having less density than honey. Okay, ink having a thick liquid, but honey having, sorry, ink having thin liquid, honey having thick liquid, means honey viscosity is more, ink viscosity is less. Honey density is more, ink density is less. Okay, here density is more means fast want to dissolve, but not happening because viscosity also one of the reason. The thickness of liquid is more, diffusion is slow here. Okay, same way ink having less density, thin liquid, so easy to diffuse. Next, what about boiling point? Boiling point of the liquids. Boiling point of the liquids. Boiling points of the liquids are lower than solids. Boiling point of the liquids are lower than solids. Compared to solids, lower, but compared to gases, more. Next, density. What about density? Density means mass of the substance occupied volume. Mass per volume. density of liquids lower than solids, because the reason is solids are tightly packed, occupy less volume. Which occupy less volume, they having more density. Liquids, between the particles attraction is less, means space is more. When space is more, it will occupy more volume. Automatically, that space, that gap occupied by air. So, it will get less density. It will occupy more volume compared to solids. So, density of liquids lower than solids. So, about this example also we can use here. Density of here between the liquids only we discussed. Ink also liquid, honey also liquid. But ink density is lesser than honey. Okay. About hardness. Uh, Generally, solids means they are hard in nature, but because they are tightly packed, so they are very hard. But what about liquids? Liquids are compared to solids, not hard in nature, soft in nature, because liquids are not tightly packed between the particles, less attraction, more space compared to solids. Liquids are soft compared to solids. That is what those are swimming. The diver can able to cut the particles with their hand. Okay, because less attraction between the particles. When the diver while swimming, they will cut the particles and they will take required space and they will move front. Liquids are soft compared to solids. Evaporation. What is meant by evaporation? The process of conversion of liquid into vapors are called evaporation. The process of conversion of liquid into vapors are called evaporation. Evaporation is a natural phenomenon. Okay, children, yeah, we are going to discuss the difference between the evaporation and boiling. Even boiling also, we'll write a definition, then we'll discuss. So evaporation means it is a natural phenomena, the process of conversion of liquid into vapors. Boiling means boiling is a bulk phenomena, means through heating we are making fast to convert. So same process, the process of conversion of liquid into vapors in a particular temperature, that is we call boiling. The temperature at which liquid converting into vapor. That is we call boiling. The process of conversion of liquid into vapors by heating, by heat. Okay, because of heating we are making speed up the process. That is we call boiling. Naturally occurs same process means that is we call evaporation. Evaporation, boiling, difference. The difference between the evaporation and boiling, important question. Evaporation is the surface phenomena. Means, for example, these are the river water or sea water. If you consider the sun rays falling on surface of the water, surface layer get evaporate. Surface layer only get evaporate at below boiling point. That is we call evaporation. Okay, evaporation means the process of conversion of liquid into vapors at below boiling point. That is we call evaporation. Evaporation. Once again, I am writing definition. The process of conversion of liquid into vapors at below boiling point. This is important. At below boiling point. Because here only surface molecules getting evaporate, not a complete all the molecules getting same heat like that. Only surface molecule getting evaporate, absorbing heat from the sun rays. So it is a surface phenomena. Here evaporation occurs, only surface molecules getting evaporated. It is surface phenomena. It is surface phenomena. It occurs below boiling point. It occurs below boiling point at any temperature. Below boiling point at any temperature. It is slow process. It is slow process. It is slow process. Evaporation is slow process. Generally, you also observed suddenly some water fall on floor. We not cleaned. After 1 hour or 2 hours, if you observe, there no water. What happens means slowly that water molecules get evaporate. That is the natural phenomena. Okay. So as a fifth point, It is natural phenomena. It is natural process. Natural process. Now, boiling. Boiling is nothing but, for example, when mother heating any liquid, we used to call boiling. Boiling. Because there we are giving heat from bottom of the vessel. Inside the vessel, whatever the liquids are there, they getting heat. So that is we call bulk phenomena. This is a container. In this water is present. We need to make it evaporate. What we are doing, we are keeping on stove and giving heat from bottom. We are giving heat from bottom. At the time, whatever means through vessel, heat transfer to the water until reach every water molecule its boiling point. The process will never start. Once they reach every water molecule boiling point, then water start to evaporate. Liquid start to evaporate. So this is we call boiling. Means every water molecule, every liquid particle got its boiling point, then it started to evaporate. So the temperature at which liquid converting into vapors, that temperature we used to call boiling point. Boiling point of the water is 100 degree Celsius. So boiling is a bulk phenomena. Here evaporation we said natural. Okay, naturally occurs. But boiling is not occurs naturally. So definition first I am writing. Same points I am converting into boiling point. The process of conversion of liquid into vapors at below boiling point means evaporation. The process of conversion of liquid into vapors at boiling point, at boiling point by observing heat. By observing heat are called boiling. Evaporation is surface phenomena, but boiling is bulk phenomena because every molecule until get a boiling point, it never start. So it is a bulk phenomena. It is bulk phenomena. Next, it occurs below boiling point. Evaporation means, but boiling means it occurs at exact boiling point. It occurs at boiling point. BP means boiling point. Okay. Every liquid having their own boiling point. The particular liquids, whenever it is the particular boiling point, then they will start to evaporate. They will start to convert into vapors. Next, fourth point, evaporation means slow process because they are naturally occurring. But here we are giving heat, so it is fast process, rapid process. It is rapid process. Next, evaporation is naturally occurs, but boiling is not naturally occurs. It is occurs through heating. Through heating. These are the differences between the evaporation and boiling. Thank you, children.